Welcome back, everyone. You're tuning into another episode of Podcast and Chill.
I'm Leo.
And I'm Gwen.
And as usual, we're here to give you some of the best tips and tricks for your English learning journey.
Many of our audience have written to us thanking us for inspiring them to learn English.
Wow, isn't that great? I am glad that our podcast is so helpful.
However, they also said,
What did they say?
I don't have anyone to speak English with.
Oh, I get it. When I first started to learn a new language, I also found it hard to improve my speaking skill because I had no speaking partner.
You're right. This is definitely a common problem that many language learners have.
It can be so frustrating because you know you should practice speaking, but you have no one to talk to.
Absolutely, Leo. That is why we are here today to help you, our audience, out.
Gwen is right, folks. Today, we will look into some ways to help you practice speaking if you don't have anyone to speak English with.
Let's get started. And remember, it's all about taking small steps towards big improvements.
So, Gwen, what do you think about this situation?
Well, you might be surprised, but it's pretty common.
I see. What do you think causes this issue?
In my opinion, there are several factors.
Can you name some of them?
Sure. For one, their speaking partner might have a strange accent.
Oh, you're right. That's definitely possible.
Or, sometimes, it's because the speaker is afraid of making mistakes. In fact, many English learners say that even though they know the vocabulary and grammar, they still can't communicate well.
I know a lot of people like that. They are so afraid that they do not dare to say even a word.
Plus, some people are brave enough to speak, but they make mistakes when speaking English.
But didn't you say they know the grammar and vocabulary well?
Yes, they do, but they might be so nervous that they mess it up.
All right, so how can we fix this issue?
Well, there's no better way than practicing speaking.
I know, right? But as our audience said, they don't have anyone to speak English with. What would you do if you were in their shoes?
Well, actually, I was in their shoes.
So what did you do to tackle this issue?
The first tip I can share is joining some online language exchange platforms.
Interesting. Can you give some examples?
Definitely. There are some well-known ones like Tandem, HelloTalk, and Speaky.
What can you do there?
You can learn languages by talking to other members. You can chat with native speakers from all over the world. Yes, your speaking partner will give you feedback on your speaking skills.
That sounds great.
How about you, Leo? How do you find someone to speak English with?
Well, I would join online English speaking clubs.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Can you tell me more?
Certainly. There are plenty of English-speaking groups on social media platforms, like Facebook, Meetup, or Discord. These groups often hold online or offline events where participants can join and practice their speaking skills.
How often are these events?
Well, it depends. Some clubs hold weekly events, while others host monthly or even yearly events.
That sounds interesting. But what about people who are socially awkward?
What do you mean?
Well, some people are so shy they can't talk to strangers. How could they join those kinds of activities?
Yeah, you're right, Gwen. But no worries, we have AI chat bot.
Oh, this sounds new to me. Tell me more.
There are cool chatbots like Replica, Elsa Speak, ChatGPT.
How exactly can those chatbots help us practice speaking English?
Think of them as virtual friends. You talk with them and they adapt their lessons based on your interactions. So, I get personalized speaking lessons? Yes. And the best part,
You can practice anytime, anywhere. Cool. Now shy people can practice without the pressure of real-life interactions. No more shyness.
Communicate, verb, definition, to share or exchange information. Example, they communicate through email. Platform, noun. Definition, a type of software or service used for sharing content and social interactions. Example, she uses Instagram as her main social media platform. Native, adjective. Definition, belonging to a place by birth. Example, she is a native speaker of Spanish. Stranger, noun. Definition, someone you do not know. Example, a stranger helped her with directions. Pressure, noun. Definition, the force exerted on a surface or the stress of a situation. Example, he feels a lot of pressure at work. Question, why can't some English learners communicate effectively? Answer, maybe their speaking partner has a difficult accent, or they are too scared to make mistakes. Even if they are brave enough to speak, they might get nervous and make grammar or vocabulary mistakes. Question, what can shy English learners do to practice speaking? Answer, they can try talking to AI chatbots like Replica, Elsa Speak, or ChatGPT.
So, do you think having a partner is a must if you want to improve your speaking skills?
Not really. In fact, there are other ways to improve our speaking skills without the headache of finding a speaking partner.
Care to share, Leo?
Do you know the shadowing technique?
That sounds familiar. Tell me about it.
Well, shadowing is like copying a native speaker. You listen to something in English, like a podcast or a movie, and then you repeat exactly what they say as fast as you can.
But what if I don't know or understand what they are saying?
You don't need to know or understand what they are saying. You just use your ears to hear and repeat the speaker's words.
Oh, so it's like singing along to a song in a foreign language? I can sing Korean songs without even understanding anything.
Exactly. Think of it as training your mouth to make English sounds. It's a great way to sound more natural when you speak.
Shadowing is actually an amazing method.
How about you, Gwen? What do you do when you don't have a speaking partner?
Well, I record myself and then listen to it.
Oh, and how does that help you improve your speaking skills?
It might feel weird listening to your own voice at first, but it's super helpful. I can record myself talking about anything, my day, my hobbies, or even just reading something aloud.
And what do you do next?
Then I listen back to it. You'd be surprised what you notice. Maybe your pronunciation is better than you thought, or maybe you find some words you stumble on.
So it's more like a self-study method, right?
You're right. I also suggest English learners engage with English media to get more exposure.
What do you mean by engaging with English media?
Well, it means you can watch a movie, listen to a podcast, or listen to music in English. Then, you talk about what you watched or listened to. This helps not only with listening, but also with speaking.
I agree. It seems like a great way to expand our vocabulary, too.
Absolutely. Especially since the words in English movies, podcasts, or songs are usually commonly used. In other words, that vocabulary is really helpful when communicating with native speakers.
I couldn't agree more. Exposing ourselves to English content is an amazing way to learn English.
So, do you often engage with English media?
Well, I do engage with English content, but in a slightly different way.
What do you do?
I use social media for language practice. There are many English learning communities on platforms like Facebook or Reddit.
Oh, what do you do in those groups?
I join discussions on English learning or practice with group members. Their insights are very helpful,
I bet. Studying together is better than studying by ourselves, right?
Yes, especially when your learning partners are supportive and non-judgmental.
Oh, how I love a supportive community.
So do I, Gwen.
Technique, noun, definition, a way of doing something using special skills. Example, she uses a special technique to make her paintings. Foreign, adjective. Definition, from a different country. Example, he enjoys learning foreign languages. Content, noun. Definition, the information or topics covered in a book, website, etc. Example, the website's content is very informative. Community, noun. Definition, a group of people living in the same area or having a particular characteristic in common. Example, she is an active member of her local community. Discussion, noun. Definition, a conversation about a specific topic. Example, they had a discussion about the new policy. Question, why is it helpful to record yourself speaking? Answer, recording yourself helps you notice things about your speaking, like your pronunciation or words you find difficult. Question, how can you engage with English media? Answer, you can engage with English media by watching movies, listening to podcasts or music in English, and then talking about what you watched or listened to.
Well, folks, that wraps up today's episode on how to practice speaking English with or without a partner. I hope you all feel a bit more inspired to go out and speak.
Definitely, Leo. Remember, everyone, speaking English fluently starts with believing in yourself and taking every chance to practice.
Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more helpful tips and some good laughs with us every week.
And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to explore, send us a message. We love hearing from our listeners.
Until next time, keep practicing and stay confident. This is Leo and Gwen signing off from Podcast and Chill.